Attraction isn't about looks, money, or charm, it's about strategy. And here's where most men fail: they chase instead of creating an irresistible pull. Maybe you think she's out of your league. Maybe she's already brushed you off or stuck you in the friend zone. But here's the truth: women don't always know what they want until you show them. Yes, even the one ignoring your texts or treating you like an option can feel drawn to you if you understand how to shift the dynamic. This isn't about manipulation or playing tricks, it's about mastering the psychology of attraction. The real issue? Most men misunderstand women completely. They act needy, try too hard, or worse, they give up. None of that works. Women aren't drawn to guys who beg for their attention. They want men who move with confidence, who understand their own value, and who don't need to prove they're worthy. Here's the hard truth: attraction isn't about convincing her to choose you, it's about making her realize she doesn't want to lose you. And that shift doesn't happen when you're chasing, it happens when you become the kind of man she can't ignore. Even if she's told you she's not interested, there's a way to turn things around. The secret? It starts with flipping your mindset. Stop focusing on her reaction to you and start focusing on building yourself, your value, your presence, your purpose. Women are wired to respond to strength, confidence, and mystery. The moment you act like she's the prize, you lose. But when you live like you're the prize, everything changes. In this video, I'll show you exactly how to attract women naturally, even the ones who seem disinterested. No games, no gimmicks, just a deep understanding of what truly makes a man magnetic. If you're ready to stop chasing and start attracting, let's dive in. Number 1. Stop caring about her opinion. The fastest way to lose a woman's interest is by trying too hard to gain her approval. Many men fall into this trap, believing they need to say the right things, act a certain way, or avoid offending her. But this mindset screams insecurity. Here's the reality: the moment you care too much about her opinion, you give away all your power, and when she holds all the power, attraction fades. Women are naturally drawn to men who remain unaffected. Why? Because confidence is magnetic. When you prioritize her validation over your own self-worth, you communicate that you value her more than yourself. That's not attractive, it's weak. Shift your perspective. Instead of obsessing over her thoughts, focus on becoming the best version of yourself. You'll be surprised how quickly her perception of you changes when you stop seeking approval. This isn't about being rude or indifferent. It's about emotional detachment from her validation. Take dating, for example. Don't overanalyze her every reaction. If she laughs, great. If she doesn't, don't panic. Be so comfortable in your own skin that her response, or lack of it, doesn't shake your confidence. Here's a practical example. Imagine you're texting her, and she suddenly stops replying. The average guy would double text, overthink, or wonder if he did something wrong. Instead, you send your message and go about your day. A couple of hours later, she replies, "Sorry, I was busy." Your response? "No worries, I figured you'd get back when you could." Then, you either change the subject or end the conversation on your terms. What happens? You signal that while you enjoy talking to her, you're not desperate for her time or attention. You show composure and self-assurance, making her wonder why you're so unfazed. When you stop seeking her approval, you become the kind of man who is harder to impress. And women are naturally drawn to the challenge. Instead of bending over backward for her, stay grounded. The moment you stop trying to win her over, you might just find that she starts working to win you. Number 2. Focus on your own value. If you want to attract any woman, even one who seems indifferent, you need to shift the focus from her to yourself. Most men fall into the trap of pouring all their effort into impressing a woman instead of elevating their own value. But here's the truth: if you don't respect and develop yourself first, she won't either. Attraction isn't about chasing or seeking validation, it's about becoming a man who naturally draws others in. This isn't about fake confidence or putting on an act, it's about genuine self-improvement. Strengthen yourself mentally, physically, and emotionally to the point where your presence commands attention effortlessly. Too many men obsess over what a woman wants instead of asking themselves, what do I bring to the table? Are you building a future or just coasting? Do you have hobbies, passions, and goals, or is your life centered around her? Are you actually working on your fitness or just talking about it? High-value men focus on growth in every area of life, and when you level up, interest follows naturally. Here's a real-world example. Say you're into a woman who seems distant. Instead of bombarding her with texts or trying to force plans, you shift gears. You hit the gym, refine your style, start eating right, and dive into a new skill, maybe photography or learning a new language. A few weeks later, she starts noticing. You casually mention your progress, or maybe she sees a photo of you leveling up. Suddenly, she's curious. You've been busy lately, huh? What's new? Why? Because you've stopped waiting around. Your life is fulfilling with or without her. That's the magic. When you invest in yourself, you change the dynamic. She starts seeing you as someone worth pursuing. You stop chasing, and instead, she's drawn to your energy. A man dedicated to self-improvement is irresistible. So stop wasting energy trying to convince her, focus on becoming the best version of yourself, and let the results do the talking. Number 3, don't chase, create mystery. Chasing a woman is the quickest way to push her away. Think about it. How do you feel when someone constantly hovers around you, desperate for your attention? It's overwhelming, suffocating, even irritating. Women feel the same way when a man chases them. The more you pursue her, the more you signal that you lack options, which is a major turn-off. Now, let's flip the script. Instead of chasing, focus on creating mystery. Women are naturally drawn to what they can't easily figure out. If you're always available, always texting first, and always eager to meet up, there's no challenge. She already knows exactly where you stand, and the excitement fades. But creating mystery doesn't mean playing games or being dishonest. It's about holding back just enough to keep her intrigued. Stop oversharing every thought and move. If she asks about your day, don't give her a detailed breakdown. Keep it simple but intriguing. It's been an interesting day, I'll tell you about it sometime. That's it. Now she's curious and thinking about you. Another way to create mystery? Have a life that doesn't revolve around her. Spend time with friends, dive into your passions, and stay busy. When she sees that you're not always available, she starts wondering, what's he doing? Who's he with? Suddenly, you're not predictable anymore, and she's paying closer attention. The beauty of mystery is that it leaves room for imagination. When you're not constantly explaining yourself or seeking her approval, she starts filling in the blanks, and usually in your favor. She'll think about you more because there's a sense of the unknown. Men often forget that attraction isn't just about what's seen or said, it's about what's felt. When you stop chasing and create mystery, you trigger emotions in her that she can't ignore. She starts to feel that magnetic pull, the desire to know more about you. Remember, women are drawn to men who are secure in themselves and don't need to constantly prove their worth. So stop chasing. Instead, make her chase the chance to understand you. That's how you stand out. Number 4, master the art of silence. Sometimes, the most powerful statement you can make is saying nothing at all. Silence is a tool that many men overlook when it comes to attraction. It's not just about what you say, but also about when, and if, you choose to say anything at all. Here's the issue: most men talk too much. They rush to fill every pause in conversation, over-explain themselves, or flood her with messages when she goes quiet. This kind of over-communication doesn't project confidence, it signals insecurity. A woman can instantly sense when a man is uncomfortable with silence, and that discomfort speaks volumes. On the other hand, silence can be incredibly powerful. It conveys patience, composure, and self-assurance. A man who embraces silence without feeling the need to fill it exudes confidence. Women interpret this as strength because it suggests he's secure enough to let things unfold naturally. For instance, if a woman seems distant or doesn't respond to your message right away, your first instinct might be to check in or ask if something's wrong. Resist that urge. Let silence do the work for you. When you stop reacting instantly, she starts to wonder what's on your mind. That curiosity shifts the dynamic, making her think about you rather than the other way around. Silence is also a game changer during disagreements or tense moments. Instead of immediately defending yourself or explaining, let her words linger in the air. That pause can diffuse tension and prompt her to reflect on what she just said. More importantly, it signals that you're unshaken and in control of your emotions. Beyond just words, the power of silence extends to presence. You don't always need to entertain her or keep the energy going. Comfortable silence, where neither of you feels the need to speak, can be deeply intimate. That kind of connection is rare and memorable. Ultimately, mastering silence is about showing that you're comfortable in your own skin. You're not seeking validation or scrambling to fill empty spaces just for the sake of it. When a woman notices this, she instinctively understands that you're in control not just of the moment, but of yourself. And that is undeniably attractive. Number 5. Trigger her curiosity. Most men make it far too easy for women to figure them out. They spill everything, interests, intentions, even their whole life story, within the first few conversations. Let's be real, this kills attraction. When you reveal too much too soon, you strip away the mystery, and without mystery, there's no curiosity. Here's the mistake: men assume being an open book makes them more relatable or likable. In reality, it just makes them predictable, and predictable is boring. Women are drawn to what they can't fully grasp. If she already knows everything about you, there's nothing left for her to wonder about, and that initial spark fades before it even has a chance to grow. Wake up! If you're the guy constantly texting, "What are you doing?" or giving her a play-by-play of your day, you're doing it wrong. Attraction thrives on curiosity, and curiosity needs space to grow. Instead of laying everything out like a tour guide, leave room for intrigue. If she asks what you're up to this weekend, don't give her a full itinerary. Just say, "Got a few things planned, I'll let you know how it goes." That small hint keeps her engaged, wondering what's happening in your world. Think about it. What makes a great movie or book impossible to put down? The twists, the unpredictability, the unanswered questions. Attraction works the same way. If she can't fully figure you out, she'll want to dig deeper. Now, let's be clear, this isn't about playing games or being deliberately evasive. It's about maintaining a sense of unpredictability while staying true to yourself. You don't need to fake anything, just stop over-explaining, stop oversharing, and stop trying so hard to impress with details she didn't even ask for. When you create curiosity, the dynamic shifts. Instead of you constantly chasing her, she starts thinking about you. And that's the key. So stop giving everything away for free. Stay a little mysterious. Make her work to figure you out. That's how you keep her interested and coming back for more. Number 6. Build emotional tension. Attraction isn't just about physical chemistry, it's about emotional tension. This is the invisible thread that keeps a woman thinking about you even when you're not around. Most men fail to create this tension because they don't know how to engage a woman emotionally. Instead, they rely on surface-level conversations and predictable behavior. While that might feel safe, it's also forgettable. Here's the truth: women don't fall for men who play it safe. If your interactions are bland, overly polite, or just nice, you're missing the point. Emotional tension is about creating a dynamic that keeps her engaged, intrigued, and sometimes a little off balance, in a good way. This isn't about being rude or manipulative, it's about breaking the monotony and making her feel something she can't ignore. Too many men avoid taking risks in conversation because they fear rejection or awkwardness. But if she feels nothing when she's with you, she'll move on. Emotional tension comes from pushing boundaries just enough to spark a reaction, teasing her about something minor, confidently challenging her opinion, or adding an unexpected twist to the interaction. These small moments of friction, mixed with playfulness, keep things interesting. Another key to building tension is pacing. Don't rush to fill every silence or resolve every moment of tension. Let it sit for a second. That pause forces her to process what just happened and to wonder about your thoughts or your next move. And in that wondering, attraction grows. Here's where most men get it wrong. They think women only want to feel happy or entertained. But true attraction comes from experiencing a full range of emotions. By challenging her, surprising her, or even making her a little nervous in a playful way, you create depth. She won't just remember your jokes, she'll remember how you made her feel. Building emotional tension takes confidence and practice, but when a woman feels emotionally drawn to you, she won't be able to ignore you. So stop being predictable. Be bold, be engaging, and most importantly, be someone who sparks real feelings. That's how you stand out. Number 7, set boundaries and stick to them. One of the biggest mistakes men make is failing to establish clear boundaries. They go out of their way to please a woman, often at the cost of their own comfort, time, or values. But here's the truth, that doesn't make you more attractive, it makes you a pushover. Women don't respect men who can't stand up for themselves, and without respect, attraction fades. Setting boundaries is about recognizing your worth and refusing to compromise it. It's knowing what you will and won't accept, not just in relationships, but in life as a whole. If you let a woman walk all over you, she'll lose interest faster than you think. Why? Because she's looking for a strong partner, not a doormat. Here's the key, boundaries aren't just about saying no to her, they're about saying yes to yourself. They signal self-respect and show that you have a fulfilling life beyond any relationship. Whether it's how much time you're willing to give, the kind of behavior you accept, or the way you expect to be treated, boundaries make it clear that you're not seeking validation, you already have it within yourself. For instance, imagine you're interested in a woman who frequently cancels plans at the last minute. The typical guy might let it slide, hoping she'll eventually take him seriously. But a man with boundaries won't tolerate being treated as an afterthought. Instead, he calmly addresses it, I understand things come up, but if you're unsure about plans, let's not commit until you're certain. This isn't about being aggressive, it's about standing up for yourself. You're making it clear that your time is valuable and won't be wasted. And here's what happens, she either respects your boundaries and changes her behavior, or she doesn't, and you walk away. Either way, you've demonstrated that you're a man who values himself. Ironically, this makes you even more attractive. Why? Because a man who isn't afraid to lose her is a man who's in control of his life, and that's exactly the kind of man women respect and desire. Number 8, show don't tell, your confidence. Confidence is one of the most attractive qualities a man can have, yet many go about it the wrong way. Instead of embodying confidence, they try to convince others of it through words. But here's the truth, confidence isn't something you announce, it's something you demonstrate. Women aren't interested in hearing you say how self-assured you are, they care about how they feel in your presence. Think about the men who naturally command attention. They don't boast, seek validation, or try to prove themselves. They simply exist in a way that exudes certainty. They walk with purpose, stand tall, and speak with clarity. Their presence alone makes an impact without them needing to say a word. Real confidence isn't a performance, it's an internal state of being. It's not about showing off or constantly trying to impress others. True confidence is quiet yet powerful because it stems from genuine self-assurance. A truly confident man doesn't concern himself with how others perceive him, he already knows his worth. The mistake many men make is confusing arrogance with confidence. Arrogance is loud, attention-seeking, and rooted in insecurity. It's an attempt to compensate for self-doubt. Confidence, on the other hand, doesn't need to be advertised. It speaks for itself. When you're confident, you're at ease with who you are. You don't seek approval because you don't need it. That alone sets you apart in a world where most people are desperate to prove themselves. Confidence isn't just about how you talk or move, it's in your energy. It's in how you listen, how you carry yourself, and how you interact with those around you. When you exude confidence, you silently communicate that you value yourself, and that's irresistibly attractive. So stop trying to prove your confidence. Just be it. Let your presence and actions do the talking. When you stop chasing validation and focus on being secure in who you are, people, especially women, will naturally be drawn to you. Number 9. Stop trying to be her perfect guy. One of the biggest mistakes men make is believing they need to be the perfect guy to win a woman's interest. You know the type, the one who always says the right things, makes no mistakes, and tries to be everything she could ever want. But here's the truth, perfection isn't just impossible, it's unattractive. Women don't want a flawless man, they want a real one. Someone who is genuine, comfortable in his own skin, and unafraid to be himself. The sooner you realize this, the better. Trying to come across as perfect is exhausting, and trust me, it doesn't work. Women can tell when you're putting on an act, and instead of being impressive, it makes you seem insecure and fake. So if you're constantly trying to say the perfect thing, act the way you think she wants, or bend over backward to please her, stop. That's not authenticity, and nothing kills attraction faster than a lack of realness. Here's the reality, being unapologetically yourself is what truly attracts women. You don't need to have all the answers or fit into some ideal mold. What matters is that you're confident in who you are, flaws and all. You're not trying to become the guy you think she wants, you're showing her the real you. Forget about trying to be her idea of perfection, you'll never measure up to an unrealistic standard. And even if you could, it wouldn't lead to a genuine connection. Women don't fall for the guy who's trying too hard, they fall for the one who is secure enough to be himself, even with imperfections. The key is to focus on becoming the best version of yourself, not a copy of someone else. When you stop worrying about being perfect, your true personality shines through. Women respect men who embrace their flaws because it shows confidence. It means you have nothing to hide, nothing to prove, you're just being real. So stop chasing perfection. Be your own kind of amazing. Ditch the act and own who you are, imperfections included. That's what creates real attraction. Number 10. Be willing to walk away. Most men struggle with this, but it's one of the most powerful things you can do to truly attract a woman, be willing to walk away. Sounds counterintuitive, right? But here's the reality, when you become too attached to the outcome with a woman, you give up your power. Women can sense desperation a mile away, and trust me, it's never attractive. The most confident, desirable men understand that their value isn't tied to one person's attention or approval. If a woman isn't showing you the respect, effort, or interest you deserve, you have to be ready to walk away. This isn't about playing games or acting cold, it's about knowing your worth and refusing to waste time on someone who isn't equally invested. The biggest mistake men make is fearing rejection or loneliness, which keeps them stuck in situations that don't serve them. But when you refuse to walk away, you're operating from fear, not strength, and that weakness is obvious. Now, picture the opposite scenario. A woman isn't reciprocating your energy, so instead of chasing, convincing, or begging for her attention, you simply pull back. You stop proving your worth and let your actions speak for themselves. This shift is incredibly powerful. It communicates self-respect, confidence, and emotional control, qualities women naturally gravitate toward. Women respect men who have the self-discipline to walk away when something isn't right. When you stand firm in your value, you create space for her to either step up and meet you halfway or let you go. Either way, you win. If she comes back, it's because she recognizes your worth. If she doesn't, you've just saved yourself from wasting time on the wrong person. So stop chasing. Stop settling. Be willing to walk away when necessary, and you'll be surprised, women will start chasing you. Let's wrap this up with the most important truth you need to hear. Attraction isn't about chasing her, it's about becoming the man she wants to chase. If there's one takeaway from this video, it's this: your value isn't defined by her interest in you, it's defined by how you carry yourself, the standards you uphold, and the confidence you radiate. The moment you stop putting her above your own self-respect, everything shifts. Here's the part that might sting: if you feel like you have to constantly prove yourself just to get her attention, she's not the issue, you are. That's right. It's not about her playing hard to get or being out of reach, it's about you failing to recognize your own worth. Stop treating her like the grand prize. The real prize is becoming a man who never has to beg for attention, time, or affection. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever found yourself chasing someone who didn't deserve it? Drop your story in the comments, I'll be reading every single one, and I might even reach out personally. Let's build this conversation together. Thanks for watching, and as always, this is the Stoic way.